Hey guys, today we're going to be building your first AI agent web scraper in n8n. So really cool video and tutorial for people who are just getting into n8n automations, or if you just want to learn how to build a web scraper for fun, right? So this is the video for you because I'm going to teach you the basics of n8n, the basics of web scraping, and the basics of AI agents and how to put it all together, guys. Okay, so maybe you want to get notified when there's a price drop on a website, or maybe you want to build a web scraper to kind of a sneak peek at competitors and see what kind of products they're dropping if you're in e-commerce, or maybe what kind of features they are releasing if you are in maybe SaaS business, right? So a lot of uses for web scrapers, and today you're going to learn how to build your own, guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm starting from pretty much from scratch, guys. There's no fancy workflow spinning today right away. So we're gonna be doing everything step by step and node by node, okay? So if you don't have a n8n, make sure to use the partner link below the video in the comment section or the description box. So create an account with n8n, and once you do, you're gonna basically log in into your n8n, and then you're gonna click on create new workflow, and you will end up on this basically main editor window right here, guys, okay? And this is where all the magic happens, guys. So we can actually start building things. So in n8n, you can add a node in two ways: either add your first step right here, clicking on this plus sign, or right click mouse on add a node, right? So I'm gonna do it with a right mouse click, and I'm gonna do add a node, and I'm gonna search for something called chat trigger. Okay, so this node basically will allow us to chat with our AI agent or chat with our workflow, which is basically chatting with our AI agent, right? But you can trigger n8n workflow in different ways. It can be something from, for example, it can be from Telegram, okay, meaning that you can communicate with your AI agent directly from your phone, something for WhatsApp, or maybe from a webhook. So if you have a third-party, maybe CRM system or Shopify, right? So you can trigger it from Shopify, or maybe from WordPress, or maybe from your own web application. In that case, we would be using something called webhook, and webhook is basically sort of a, I would say, a bridge between the n8n and another third-party application, so they can communicate between each other and execute, workflows and logic in a sense, right? But today, as a beginner, we're just gonna focus on the easy part, and we're gonna be handling everything using a chat node right here, okay? So awesome, guys, congrats on adding your first node in n8n, which is the chat node. So now let's do the fun part, and before we do that, let's make sure to save, because if something happens, you refresh the page, everything's gonna be gone, so we don't want that. So now let's move on to adding an agent. Click on plus sign and go ahead and search for AI agent, okay? So this is our agent, so congrats, guys, you just actually created the foundations of your AI agent in n8n. But again, AI agent is kind of useless on its own, right? It's just a node, it's just a shell. So we need to give an actual brain to this AI agent so it can think and take actions autonomously, in a sense, right? So to do that, click on the chat model and search for OpenAI. We're going to be using chatgpt basically behind the scenes, and click on OpenAI chat model right here. So here we can basically connect our OpenAI platform or API, so basically ChatGPT. And to do that, you're gonna first click here, create new credential, okay? And here you will need your own API key. And to do that, go to openai.com/API. It's gonna be here. Then you're gonna click on login, and then click on API platform right here, right, guys? Then make sure to create an account. You can use your Gmail. That's the easiest and fastest way. And basically what you're gonna do here, you're gonna click on the settings tab right here, this little settings little icon, then go to API keys on the left side and create a new secret key. Okay, on the right side here, click on it, and you can name it whatever you want, like n8n, whatever, and then click create. Project can be anything, it can be default one. Make sure it permissions it's all, okay, and then click on create secret key. Make sure to share it with anybody, don't show it to anybody, because if they have access to this key, they can essentially use your API and basically, communicate with your ChatGPT, and you're gonna be paying for it. So be careful with that. So take that API key that it generated, go back to n8n and copy paste that API key in here and click save. And if everything was good, it's gonna say connection was successful, it's gonna be green. If it's gonna be red, it means that you probably made a typo or added an extra character in there. So be careful to just literally copy paste the exact same thing, and then it's going to be good to go. Okay, so there's one more step left before you can start using the API key. So what you're going to do now, you're going to go back to OpenAI, you're going to go to billing right here, and make sure to add a balance, right? You guys see it here, I have $68. So what you want to do first, you want to add a credit balance. Okay, for example, it can be $10, and then make sure to add a credit card and then continue, and your credit card will be charged for $10. Okay, and $10 is more than enough to kickstart the basics, right? It doesn't cost too much to use text-based OpenAI models like the mini models. They're very cheap. Okay, but if you want to go into like, analyzing images and generating images, that's getting more expensive. So you'll probably need to top up your credits at some point, right? But $10 is good to start. So at $10, I assume you will be good to go here. Go back to OpenAI. So now you have credits, you have the OpenAI API keys. So now we can start working with our agent. All right, guys, so from here we can select one of the OpenAI models. So it really depends on the use case. Since we're just really working with, I would say, data, right? And it's not like extensive data. We're not trying to analyze spreadsheets, right, and do data analysis. So I do suggest working with mini models because they're cheaper. So either 4.1 mini, or you can use the 4.0 latest, 4.0 mini as well. So if I go to here, 4.0, and I can either use the mini model, or we can find the mini right here. Okay, so I feel like 4.0 mini is a little bit more creative, so I can go with that one, but 4.1 will do trick just fine. Okay, so again, this is good to go. So now we added the brain to our agent, and now again, let's save, guys. And next thing we need to do, we need to add a simple memory to our agent. So memory is exactly what it says it is. Like we have people memory, the same thing we add it to our agent, because what's going to happen if you're going to chat with the agent and you're going to, for example, have a conversation about something that you are web scraping, on the web, and then you're going to ask a question, hey, can you tell me what did we scrape, or what were the findings? It's not going to be able to tell you, because it's going to say, well, I don't have any, memory of anything of our previous conversations. That is because you are missing a memory. Okay, to avoid that, we are adding a simple memory right here. So what's going to do, it's going to give 5 context windows to your agent, meaning it has 5 chat windows that it can look backwards. Okay, so basically 5 past chat conversations that it can look back to. So you can increase to 10 and 20. Just remember, the higher this number gets, the more tokens will be utilized for your conversation with the AI, right? Because, well, it needs to look back to a much larger context window, meaning there will be a higher token utilization, okay? So by default, we'll just leave it to 5. That is okay to start with, okay? Okay, guys, so now, again, let's save that. It's a best practice to always save that just in case it crashes, okay? Things that happen. So now we're gonna add the actual web scraper, and to do that, you're gonna click on the tool, and you're gonna search for something called Tavily, okay? This is the official web scraper tool from Tavily, and it's actually one of the good ones for beginners, and I'm gonna explain just in a second why I think so, okay? But for now, the only focus is on adding the node itself, and now let's create an account with Tavily. To do that, you're gonna click on create new account, very similar with OpenAI. So leave this window open, and now you're gonna go on Google and search for Tavily, go to tavily.com, and then you're gonna click sign up, okay? In my case, I have an account, I'm gonna log in. So log in with your Gmail or whatever. So once you're gonna be here, you're gonna be presented with this window, and all you need to do really is click on API keys, give your API key a name. I do believe though by default it's going to generate one for you automatically. So once you see this right here, okay, it means that's your API key. So make sure to click here to copy your API key, okay, and bring that to your n8n right here and copy paste and click save. And same like with OpenAI, it's going to tell you that connection was successful, meaning that you did a good job, and congrats guys, you just set up your first web scraper. So if you ask me, like, is it free or paid, guys, good news, this one is actually free. Tavily is very generous. They give you 1,000 credits on a monthly basis, right? So I've been using my Tavily quite a bit for demo purposes, and I've only used 36 credits so far. And it resets every month, guys, and it's really cool. And even if you go with the paid plans, it's pretty it's fairly priced even as a beginner. So if you want to actually create a proper scraper that you're going to be using on a daily basis, or maybe for the clients, or maybe for the work, right? So even going with the basic plan is going to be fairly cheap. So for now, guys, we're not going to focus on billing and stuff like that. If you want to go, just go check out their billing and set the plans. But again, 1,000 credits a month will be more than enough for you as a beginner. So we're good to go here. Copy paste API key, click save. You're going to be good to go there. So now what we want to do, we want to make sure that we check mark this and let the model define the parameter. Okay, what it means that the query will be inputted by the AI model. So if you're going to be chatting with if you're going to chat with the agent and you're going to say something like, okay, can you scrape the data for, I don't know, Zara or maybe for Sephora. Okay, so maybe you want to understand the structure of the website, how they're structuring their menus or FAQ section, stuff like that. Useful if you are into Shopify stuff, right? So it's going to be based on your query, so it's going to do it for you. But again, if you want to have the same query every time, right, you can do essentially anything. You can put like Shopify, and every time you're going to be chatting with your agent, it's going to be defaulting to the static one. I don't suggest. It's good if you create a automated flows where it's running on a schedule, right? So it can be a automated flow that every day runs at 9 a.m. and it does a search query on something like AI automations for businesses, or maybe n8n automation news, or whatever AI news. Okay, makes sense because you want to have be updated on the same topic every day, and that being sent to your Gmail, that makes sense. But since we're using a more, I would say, agentic or AI agent-based workflow where it's more dynamic and autonomous, we're gonna let AI model to do the work for us. Okay. All right. So resources search. Okay. It can be also extract if you want to actually extract the data. Okay, but for now, we're going to be focusing just on the search. So it's going to be searching websites like we do, more than enough for what we're looking to achieve here. But if you want to have more granular data and actually extract data from it, you can use extract, okay? So it's going to be query. So query is going to be defined by AI agent. So that's good to go. So let's click save, guys, okay? And actually, we are at the point where we can start testing our AI agent. So let's do that, guys. So let's go here. And I'm gonna say something like, tell me how Zara's website is structured. Okay, and we actually didn't do one thing, but actually I did it on purpose. We didn't provide any system message to the agent, meaning that an agent basically goes with a prompt and then it will assume what do you want to do, okay? And even without any prompts or system messages, it actually understood what I was getting at, okay? So it's telling me the Zara's website has been analyzed in various reports, highlighting both strengths and weaknesses, and it's giving me a design and user experience, navigation issues, scrolling behavior, overall UX challenge, stuff like that. And then it gives me a couple of hyperlinks where I can actually, read in terms of like reports and previous reports that were done on Zara's website, right? So really cool. So quick access to everything. So now if we want to tailor this agent to be a specific agent for a specific task, okay? So in this case, let's say we want this agent to actually go on Zara's website or whatever website we tell it to go. It's gonna go and scrape the website and kind of look at how the catalog is broken down, what's on the product pages, right? What are the basics of the user experience from the HTML point of view and the code that it can kind of look at, right? So let's define the system message or the prompt for agent so it becomes more of like a website scraping / website analyst. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so I already prepared a prompt for our agent. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna change now here the source for the prompt. We're gonna change it from connect the chat trigger because now automatically all the data is being fed from the chat trigger. So whatever you say, it's gonna go in here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna define it manually. So we're gonna click on define below. And then let's make sure to click here to change to expression, meaning that we can work with dynamic data or expressions. So what I'm gonna do, first I'm gonna copy paste my prompt. Let's expand everything. Okay, I created this prompt for this agent. And what we're gonna do here is, all right, let's just a little bit reformat everything and clean it up. So these are the rules. I'll explain you guys just in a second what each of these means and etc. Right? And before we do that, we need to add one more thing, right? Because for now it's just a static prompt, so we won't be able to communicate with the agent because we removed the expression which was feeding the data from the chat node, right? So now we can't really communicate with the agent, right? So what we need to do here, we need to add the expression back from the chat node, okay? And to do that, we're gonna do double curly braces, $JSON dot, and then we're gonna go with the chat input right here, okay? So that's the available expression from the previous nodes. So chat input, you can see it's green. So now you can see this is our request. And I'm gonna say something like users input, okay? There you go. And so now we have the prompt plus the user input. I'm just gonna place it somewhere else. I think it would make sense to place it all the way on the bottom after the prompt. So now let's organize everything. So we have the rules. Okay, what to analyze is a different section. Okay, product detail page. Okay, conversion flow. Okay, user experience, SEO and technical opportunities, and output format. That's what we need. Okay, guys, awesome. So here we have the basics. So the way it works with the prompting, you always want to describe what the agent is. So think of it as creating a character or behavior for your agent. So you need to tell what it's supposed to do at all times. So in this case scenario, it's going to be an expert website auditor and strategist. Okay, and your job is to analyze any website the user specifies and give them detailed plain language report that covers structure, layout, catalog, organization, whatever, everything related to a basically e-commerce structure of the website, right? So here we're defining rules, what a agent has to follow at all times, right? What to analyze. So here we want to point out, what it needs to do. Otherwise, if you let the agent improvise, it's going to literally do a lot of things, and a lot of times things that doesn't make sense. So just a bit of a guidance to, guide the agent what's supposed to do. And here's the output, really important to basically guide the agent in a sense how it should be outputting the format, or what's the expectation for output, and then it's going to be our input, guys. Okay, so we are good to go. Let's click here. Let's click on save. So now we can do it again, and we can say something like hi, okay? And I was gonna say something like this, okay? So what happened, I said hi, it basically just gave me a analysis again, although I didn't ask for it right away. So it's because we didn't add the greeting part, okay? So it just basically jumps into the doing its thing, its job, but we need to add something like this. So we're gonna add a greeting. So always begin with greeting the user. Okay, so this is gonna be it. And example, hi, thanks for sharing the site. Here's my full breakdown, okay? There you go, guys. So this could work. And now let's go and save everything. And let's try that again. And now if we say hi, let's see if that works. All right, so this time it works. So hi, thanks for sharing the site. Here's my full breakdown for you, okay? Because we previously asked about Zara, so it has the memory of that. So it's looking back at the context of the memory, and that's why it doesn't ask me for the website again, okay? And here's the structure, okay? The website analysis evaluates the structure of the data, right? The catalog, and here's the header, navigation, homepage, footer, and stuff like that. Catalog and taxonomy, right? So really cool and useful kind of data. So okay, guys, this is really cool, like in a sense that you can adjust for anything. So right now we're just kind of focusing on the website, but you can really create more advanced scrapers that actually extract the data. Then you can analyze the data with different agents. You can clean up and sanitize the data using JS, right? So a lot of cool functionalities as you grow and become more advanced. But again, as a beginner, this is really cool. Essentially, this is your own web scraper at this point, and you can do web scraping for prices for pretty much anything, guys, that's currently available on the web. So I would say this is cool, guys. Congrats. So I think one thing we have missing here, we want to send this to our Gmail because right now everything is n8n right here. So if we refresh the page, everything is going to be gone, right? So maybe we want to have this data and kind of go back to it and look at it. So what we're going to do, we're going to add Gmail tools. So we're going to click on the tools here and we're going to search for Gmail tool, okay? And here I'm going to select my account. Okay, but the way it works is actually really easy, guys. Okay, to connect your Gmail, click on the drop down menu here, create new credential, and all you literally need to do is just sign in with Gmail, and that's it. From there, simply select your Gmail account and it's gonna authenticate everything, and you guys don't have to do anything, just agree to all the events and everything, and you're gonna be good to go. So once you do that, that is good to go. So now, guys, let's say we have our email, let's select our Gmail. So tool description, we can leave it as this. Resource, we want to send a message. Operation is going to be sent. So there are two ways. Either you can adjust a agent prompt to say, before you send a report to my Gmail, make sure to ask for my email, okay? Or you can hard code it this manually in here, put your emails, but the problem is every time it's gonna go to the same email, okay? So if you want to have a dynamic approach, let's go with that. Again, let's leave this to AI. I'm going to show you in a bit how to do that. Same thing for the subject. Let's leave that to the agent. I'll show you how to structure it. And for the message as well, we're going to leave that to a agent. And that's all, guys. So now we need to adjust our agent to describe it that it has access to a Gmail tool. Okay, so here it is. I updated the prompt a little bit and I use ChatGPT for that because that's the easiest one to do it quickly. You just go to ChatGPT and ask for a agent prompt to be able to send Gmail using Gmail tool and n8n, guys. Okay, that's going to be kind of the easiest one. So for that, I use ChatGPT, fast way and beginner friendly, guys. So here what we have is basically, okay, describing the tool itself. So the tool is Gmail send tool. Okay, or actually we're going to be more precise. Let's use the exact name of the tool, which is basically send the message, or we can actually just rename it Gmail tool, okay, to be kind of easier. So let's do it Gmail tool, okay, and let's go back to a agent and rename that right here. So tool, Gmail tool, send message in Gmail, purpose delivery to finish report by email, inputs required. Okay, so this is where we're describing recipient email address. Okay, and here we're saying if the user wants report, make sure to basically ask for subject line and email address. Actually, subject line should be on its own, like it should come up with the subject line. Subject line, create this based on reports. Okay, so it does it dynamically. And yeah, guys, that's it. Okay, only call the Gmail tool once you have both. Okay, awesome, guys. So let's do that. So since we have the report, I can do something like this. Can you send me this via email? Okay. Awesome, and here it is. It's working right away. So the email, I'm gonna say, guys, I forgot my email. Okay, I got my email. So email, it's gonna be this, okay, and then we are missing create subject line for me, please. Okay, that's it. So we have the email, and let's see. Okay, so basically asking me to approve the subject line, and I'm gonna say approved. There you go. And now it should use the Gmail tool. Okay, let's see if that happens, guys. If it does, then we are good to go. Okay, awesome, guys. We are good to go. Here we see the Gmail tool just fired off. So let's go to my Gmail. And here is our email. Obviously, it's not formatted because honestly, we didn't ask for formatting from the AI model. Okay, so that's why it's kind of all inline raw text. But again, guys, the whole point is that it's working, guys. That's really everything I wanted to teach you here. If you want to actually, learn how to format these type of emails and how to send like a nicely HTML formatted videos, check out my YouTube channel. I have a bunch of videos on that. But if you want me to drop a specific course on HTML formatting for AI agents for n8n, let me know down in the comments and I will show you guys. Let me show you example what we can do with that. So for example, this is from one of my other videos where we worked on a agent that can basically scrape the web and then create blog posts based on trending topics and stuff like that, and then formats everything into this really nicely formatted SEO optimized blog post, right? So we're using all the H2s, H3s and H4s, guys, bullet points, so you guys can see there's a big difference between the non-formatted version and formatted version, guys. So again, this is something like I've done before in my other YouTube videos, guys. So check out my YouTube channel. There's video on that as well. I believe it's SEO blog post agent, and also template will be provided in there, guys. Okay. But yeah, other than that, guys, that's why it sounds like a raw text, because we didn't instruct the agent to format it in HTML or apply any styling whatsoever. But hey guys, and that's about it. I will drop this n8n template for you guys for free. So check it out below the video or in the comment section, so you can import that into n8n and play around with it and, you know, try to do things with it. And again, ask me questions in the comment section if you want to modify or do something different with this workflow. But if not, guys, I'm gonna wish you happy building as always. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe, enable those notifications, and I'm gonna see you next time. Thanks for watching.